The Platinum
Thank
Queen.
you. I mean, am I proud to say I made a burrito jump up and down? No, not in the slightest.
In out of context, that sounds fantastic.
Hey, Grandad Spanky.
Back in my day, a young weapon.
And I got to the end, I was like, why is it not popped? And then I looked it up and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
I am wet because it's sort of stormy right now.
This is what happens when I record with ass.
I can just see myself turning to dust like fucking Avengers Infinity War.
And after that, I'm never touching a Crash Bandicoot game ever again.
Until Crash 5 comes.
No, I refuse. I absolutely refuse.
I could try to platinum that, but I may go bold and grey.
Okay, the big question I have to ask, Adrienne, is have you bought a game just because you knew the platinum was really, really easy?
Oh, God.
I'm calling her out.
So then that's how Adrienne's Revenge started.
Hello, and welcome to Victory Achieved Podcast. You may have realised this is not a cold opening like we normally do. That is because we have got a special guest with us today, and that person is Adrienne's Revenge. Hello,
Hi,
Adrienne.
guys.
The Platinum
Hi,
Queen.
The Trophy Hunter.
Thank you for having me.
It
You're
is.
very welcome.
Yeah, we're very well happy you're here. How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. How you guys been?
I am wet because it's sort of stormy right now, and I usually what I do is if I go to work, in the mornings it's quite toasty, not quite chilly rather, so go in my big coat, and then when I come back, check the dog at lunchtime. If it's too warm during the day, I'm like, you know what, I'll leave my coat at home. So I did that because it was quite sunny outside, and then the heavens opened up on the way home, which was fucking awful.
That literally
Good point,
happened when you were walking back after London. It poured on you as well.
It literally, and what made it worse was there was no buses because they were being Sunday arseholes. So I walked for an hour and a half in the rain, and I will say it was actually quite glorious. It was actually a nice walk.
Your Snapchat said otherwise. You sent me a Snapchat saying, I'm wet.
a bit moist.
Can I just say, Brandon, that just because we've got a lady on the show today, you probably shouldn't open with the words, I'm wet.
I know, that's what I thought.
Anywho, let's bring this round. So today, the main topic we're gonna talk about trophy hunting, achievement hunting, yada yada. And because Adrienne is a self-confessed trophy hunter collector, that seemed like a good thing to talk about. So that's what we're gonna do. But before we get around to that, we have a few games to talk about. So I think we should do that. Shall we
go
do
for
that?
it.
Yeah, let's do that. So last time we said we're going to talk about Lies of P. Thankfully for me, a couple of weeks was enough time for me to beat the game. So I've got plenty to say about this game, but I'm interested to see what you think about it, Brandon. So you want to take it away, son?
Yeah, so far I am on chapter 8 in the Barren Swamp. I'm going to say this absolutely straight to the point. If I was to make a tier list of every single Soulsborne game, including the FromSoft games, including like the Neo games and everything I played, Lies of P is probably in my top 3. It's fucking incredible.
It's high praise.
It's the best way I can describe it. It is pretty much a love letter to both the Pinocchio story and From Software themselves. Like they have taken a lot of inspiration from all of the FromSoft games. Like they've got the Sekiro parry mechanic. They've got the Bloodborne sort of regen your health mechanic. They've got, they've taken so many different aspects of all the different Soulsborne games out there and sort of merged it into an absolute masterclass of a game. The boss fights, absolutely no problem with all the boss fights. You as you fight them, you start to learn them. The actual world gen and atmosphere is amazing. It's very dark, very like atmospheric. The music itself is quite nice. The storytelling is very straight to there, like quite forwards. But you'll probably agree with me this for probably the only downside I can think of for Lies of P, and that's the linearity. There's not really
yes and no.
There's not really any way you can sort of branch off and do side things. Like it is literally like a story. It's just you just follow through and you get there. There's not really like any optional areas because you've got. When I say optional areas, there's not like any totally optional areas. If you know what I mean, like compared to Elden Ring, Dark Souls, Bloodborne.
There's plenty of little offshoots, and there's
yeah.
Even though like the main path is always linear, I kind of like that in two ways. Because one, it means you can't get lost, and getting lost is never fun. And because all the areas sort of like loop around, you can find everything really. If you
absolutely,
with like minimal exploration.
Yes.
I mean, don't get me wrong, there are secrets everywhere, and some points you have to be really observant with. Like some bits I've completely missed until I might revisit them later. There's a load of side quests as well, so you do like revisit areas from time to time.
The side quests are really, really cool.
What I love is if there's a side quest or something you can turn into someone on the fast travel bit. There's a little portrait on like an area to say, look, there's something to do here. Go and do it.
Yeah, that is so helpful. It's so
really
helpful.
Yeah, and this is something I did when I was playing this game so well into the night, like pretty much every night, because I just wanted to make progress. But every time I went, well, I should probably wrap up now. It's like, oh no, I've got a little map marker saying I've got to go here. So you do that, and then it's just like a breadcrumb trail. You just keep going and going and going. So it's like next thing you know, it's like 3 a.m, which true story, bro.
You'll probably agree with this as well, but possibly one of the most interesting mechanics of the game is its weapon customizability.
Honestly, didn't use it all that much. I found a few weapons I liked and just sort of stuck with them.
Yeah, I'm the same. Like I've literally stuck with like maybe 3 weapons so far. I can see how, say for example, there's 20 weapons in the game. You've got 20 weapons and 20 different handles. That's a lot of different combinations you can have.
Yeah, I mostly stuck with 4. So I started with what they called like the Path of the Bastard, which is like a like the Dex build essentially. So I started off with a fast rapier. Then later on, I found a fire axe, and I quite like using that because it's like a more of a heavy swing. Then I've got like 2 boss weapons, which like scaled up with like different materials, like titanite or twinkling titanite. So it's like, there's no reason why I can't have this and this as well.
That's what I was doing.
So I used one which was like essentially an umbrella, another rapier. And then later on, I got a weapon called the Puppet Ripper, which is basically a scythe. And I was like, I really like this. It kind of reminds me of like
in video games.
The moveset kind of reminds me of the two-handed axe from Bloodborne. And I was like, yeah, I like this one. So that's what I use for like the end game.
Yeah, I went with the booster glaive, and then I went to Andreas's spear, and then it went to Romeo's scythe. So far from what I've been using,
I've seen like a speedrun this game already, and they do tend to use a booster glaive, so that might objectively be the best weapon.
It honestly, because its range is amazing and its moveset is fast, apart from its power swing, which is very slow. But yeah, I absolutely adore the game to bits. I'm having such a wild time with it.
I find it's very rewarding because even though it's linear, it seemed like for the first half of the game at least, like after like every sort of checkpoint, like boss fight, the game rewards you with like something new, like a new mechanic, and they just kept coming. But they were all good things. Like first, it was like a sort of like a grindstone thing, and then you could have like elements attached to it. So, but these were like reusable ones. So, like I don't know, just like having the like the ashes and whatnot from the Dark Souls games. Like you can just use them like several times over, like every time you rest, which was lovely.
Absolutely.
You've got another thing called a wish stone, where even though the currency is slightly harder to find, because it like works on a sort of timer later on, you can do things like regenerate your health for a bit, like regenerate some specters, which are like these summons you can get for boss fights in. What I like about the specter fights as well is kind of like using a human effigy or an ember in Dark Souls to like summon for a boss fight. You can get these things called what's it called?
Stardust or something.
Stardust, something like that. My name's escaped me. But they drop quite commonly. It's not like
I just sell them all the time,
rare.
so I refuse to use them. I just sell them.
I know, I use them because there's a couple of gang fights and a lot. I'd say that half the bosses have like sort of 2 phases. So I was like,
the first
it seems balanced around it.
Yeah, the first boss for 2 phases was Andreas. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, this is interesting. And then when Romeo did it, I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah, but you got that. You got throwable items, which like scale just like Dark Souls, but they're all actually useful
and busted.
Yeah, they do a lot of damage. The exploration's good. The graphics are good. I never once had any issues graphically. The only thing I had was when I put the game down for a bit, like like how you leave your console on, like wander off, make a cup of tea or something, come back to it. When I picked it up again, the frame rate stuttered, but it was only for like a few seconds. Like it was like the console was waking back up again. I was like, "Ooh, he's back."
I never had that. But you missed off one of the cool mechanics though, and that's quartz and the P organ.
Oh yes, so quartz is kind of like a rare upgrade material because at some point in the game you get a skill tree, which is completely unexpected, and you can upgrade in like one of several ways. Like you basically have nodes, and once you've like unlocked so many, you can go on to like the next set of skills and like the next set and so on. And there's like 5 sets in total. And what you have is like depending on each skill tree, you require like 2 quartz to like unlock one skill, and then
the first,
yeah. But all of it's really fucking useful.
Yeah,
like, the
so many
first thing you get
skills.
is like, oh, do you want to like another healing item, another Estus flask? It's like, yes, I do.
An extra grindstone, like yes.
Yes, but as in like another bonus, when you put your quartz in, it gives you like another bonus. So it's like, oh, and this one, like you can select from like a drop list. There's like 4 different tiers. There's like survivability, there's like consumables, and even they're really good. Like some of them are like another healing item. It's like, are you shitting me? I can just like get 2 more heals. Just
Extra
like that.
ergo drop from enemies. Like, come on.
Yeah, use your grindstone like several times. It's like, wow, man, everything's great. It's like more HP, more resistance. It's like, give me now. So, like, your main hub in this game is a place called the Krat Hotel. But there's so many things. It's like you're constantly going back there because, like, you're out in the overworld, you'll find some quartz, or you find an upgrade material. It's like, yep, I'm getting my ass back there.
Yep.
There's another mechanic, the Legion arms, which kind of work like the prosthetic arms in Sekiro. So there's like a flamethrower one. There's like one that spews acid. There's like a puppet string one, which is like a grapple hook. So every time you use that one, you just think Scorpion, get over here.
Don't forget the grenade launcher or the rocket launcher.
Oh, the Eagle Eye. Yeah, I use that one quite a lot because that does a surprisingly large amount of damage. And later on, it takes a lot of what they call Legion, which is like its like own little ammo bar. But later on in the skill tree, one of the things you can unlock from the drop-down menu is just like regenerate Legion over time. It's like, yes, give me that immediately. I mean, it's slow as balls, so it's not that useful for the Eagle Eye. But for ones like the Flamethrower, which don't take up an awful lot, it's like pretty much keep using it forever.
Yeah, and the 4 minutes, that doesn't use a lot at all either.
No. So, yeah, the plot's good, the graphics good, the gameplay's good. I say it borrows a lot of mechanics, but I think it does a lot of its own stuff to like differentiate from it.
The thing
Everything it does is really well.
Yeah, the thing that took me a while to get used to is it actually takes quite a long time to guard. So when it comes to like parrying, you've really got to time that very well.
I was very stubborn because I'm really shit at parrying like I was in Sekiro. So honestly, I didn't use that all that much. I know you meant
I use it all the time. I think it's mainly because of when we were playing like Woe Long, it sort of hammered it into you. You have to parry.
Yeah, it did, and I was crap at that, and that's why I'm not finished that either. I don't know why. I can block with a shield fine. Parrying is different. I just seem to be really bad at it. I can dodge like a king, but damn, parrying, I don't know, it's got a blind spot for it. And I think that's why I prefer like weapons like the rapier, like the faster ones, because it's like, I don't have to parry if I can just get in like 8,000 hits and then run away like a coward. That's my preferred playstyle. And then I can just like hide from a distance and shoot them with the eagle eye.
So you said for your first playthrough, I'm guessing you've been telling truths, haven't you?
I did a truth playthrough first because I honestly didn't know what to expect because I didn't look up anything because I didn't want anything ruined for me. So I was like, yeah, I'll tell the truth. But then like the first option it gives you, like to get into the hotel, you have to lie. You can't progress. And I did look it up like straight away because I was like, is there any way around this? Because I want to tell the truth. He's like, no, you just have to lie. He's like, did you really have to give me the option if I don't have an option?
Yeah, because this is a game which comes on to a really, really I'd have to say it's one of the most beautiful mechanics in the game. Is you have the option of telling truth or lies depending on what route you want to go to. Now, I remember the line at the start. It said, puppets cannot lie. So as soon as I heard that, I was just like, well, I'm going to keep lying. So because when you go through like the actual books of Pinocchio, every time Pinocchio lies, his nose grows. And one thing which I forgot to mention, this is actually a Korean developer rather than Japanese From Software. What they've done is they've realized that one of the most human aspects in real life is that humans lie a lot. So what you can do is the more your character lies, your character actually becomes human. So they actually start to get skin tones, they actually start to get longer hair, they start to be more human. And spoiler alert, but we played it. There's like a photo frame which you can collect halfway through the game. And the more your character lies, the bigger the nose of the photo frame gets. And it's got like a little thing on the end of it, which is just fucking beautiful. It's so beautiful.
Also, did you know possibly the best weapon of the game, if you like do a full lie playthrough, you can pick up that nose and use it as a weapon. But I've not done that myself yet.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, that's for my next playthrough. But I want to save my next playthrough for streaming because I want to do like a new game plus.
I've been debating to do a stream of it, like from the very beginning as well.
Yeah, there is 3 endings to it. There's like kind of like Bloodborne. It's structured similarly. Like when you get to the end, you got like a choice to make, just like you would with Gurman. So there is like one boss you can do, and it's like, okay, I could just like finish the game now, or you can just make a decision and go, no, I want another boss, please. But unlike the Moon Presence in Bloodborne, which is like like stupid easy. This one is not. It's fucking a lot harder. To the point, I nearly gave up and was like, oh fuck it, I'll just do the other one because it gives you the option to do so. I was like, no, I'm a stubborn bastard. I was like, I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna do it, and I did. And like when I did, it's like there's so much satisfaction. It's like, fuck, that's over.
I had so much satisfaction for some bosses are relatively easy. You can do them in like a couple hours, but a couple attempts. But there's some bosses like I really struggled against Romeo, and then I struggled probably just as much when I faced Victor as well. Because one of the mechanics is when you get knocked down, it takes you like ages to get back up, and to the point where you get knocked down, you get back up, and they're hitting you again.
There is a skill where you can sort of dodge from the ground, like if you get knocked over.
Yeah, I saw that on the skill tree. I was like, because I saw it, I was like, do I really want to get it? But now that I know what it does, I'm fucking getting it.
I didn't at first, but there's enough quartz in the game, like near the end of the game, I went back and got it, because none of the other things on the skill tree interested me. I think I skipped that one at first, but no, I'll have it this time.
Yeah, but overall, please, everyone, play Lies of P. Would you also rate it really high in your Soulsborne tier list?
I bloody well would. I put it above Sekiro.
Obviously.
I put it above Demon Souls.
Obviously.
Yeah, it's really high up, and I'm not sure where to place it, but I'm going to play this again, and I'll tell you what, I'm probably going to play it again. I'm probably going to go for all the achievements in it.
I think I'm going to do exactly that, and yeah.
So, obviously, I've heard a bit of stuff about Lies of P, and I've heard it's a very good game, but I've heard one gripe about it. It's pretty much a Bloodborne clone through and through from the ground up.
It takes aspects from it, but I wouldn't say it's like a clone. I think it does enough differently to justify it.
Yeah, I mean, what a lot of people say is that there should be a difference between taking inspiration from and pretty much imitating. It's imitated an awful lot because there's a lot of the FromSoft mechanics, but there's, like Chris said, there's enough in there to give it its own identity, especially like with its grindstone and weapon changing mechanics.
Yeah, certainly. I kind of think like the people that say, oh, it's Bloodborne knockoff. It's like, are you the type of people who just don't generally play these types of games? Or
sounds it.
Like it. Yeah.
Anything else?
That's sweets in my mouth.
Oh, you got the wine gums?
No, I got jelly beans. I had to mute myself while I opened the bag because it made loads of noise.
Professionalism.
Oh, you know it. No, I'm glad you both enjoyed it. Since I got PS5, I had all those lovely games that I got for it, and I just played Demon Souls Remake, haven't I? It also made me go back to the original Demon Souls, and it was nice to like compare them. Finally, actually beat Demon Souls on the PS3. It was nice to finally see it all to its ending, and it's nice to see how it all plays on PS5. It's definitely a PS3 game on the PS5, I'll tell you that.
It is the same game.
It is the same game, for better or for worse. The fact that one of the hardest bosses, even on the PS5, you can hide in a corner, wait for him to come, and then he turns his back, and then you poison him to death. It's definitely a PS3 game. So
you're just taking everything from it.
Like, the fact that the AI is exactly the same as it was on the PS3 is a bit ridiculous, but hey-ho. At least it looks fucking great.
But it was marketed as a remaster and not a remake, so I'm not surprised that all the AI is like intact.
Yeah. On that, it's just Demon Souls, ain't it? Demon Souls is
just Demon Souls, isn't it?
Yeah, Demon Souls has a lot of great, interesting ideas. And it also has a lot of problems. At least it's not the worst Souls game, but every From Software game is good. Like Souls wise, Demon Souls. If you played it original, you know exactly what you're getting into on the PS5. If you played any Souls game, you know what you're probably getting into. Magic is king. If you don't use magic, you're an idiot. Which I'm trying not to use magic on the PS5, but I've begun to use magic, haven't I? Because it's too powerful.
See, I never really used it when I played Demon Souls. I just kept my Unga Bunga brain.
It's too good. It is literally too good. I was like, you know what? I'll use the bow and arrow and kill the dragons. I got bored after 5 minutes. I was like, no, magic, and it died so quickly. I'm like, no, magic is king. So it's like how in like Dark Souls 1, pyromancy is king. There you go.
I'm going to use that tip when I start Dark Souls.
Yep. Either place deprived or pyromancy. There you go.
I went for the thief just for the master key.
I like playing as deprived. I like playing as deprived in every playthrough, purely because I like to be able to do my build from scratch.
Yeah, I wish I'd done that. So if from the software do another Souls game, I'm probably going to do Deprived. I think that would have been better when I did Elden Ring. Although I still pivoted to strength in Elden Ring after I got bored of Dex. So
Yeah, when I played Elden Ring, when it first came out, because it's like, I know it was more open. It's like, yeah, I'm going to pick the Deprived class because I don't know what I want to play as. So I'm just going to like play it with like 0 stats and just see how the game naturally takes me, not how it nudges me. So I ended up using a two-handed greatsword build, which is generally not one I tend to use, but I found a good one and I just stuck with it.
well, I went for we spoke about it before, but on Elden Ring I went for the sword I have tattooed on my arm. The sword that is
Guts' greatsword.
Yep, the sword that basically guts his Dragon Slayer sword from Berserk, so how could I not? No, Demon's Souls, its remake is pretty much the same game. At least now Old Monk is difficult. If you get a good player. If you get a shit player, well, there you go. GG, easy.
Oh, I had an awfully strong one when I did it.
Oh, just use
Same with
magic.
the one on Elden Ring. That was awful. Not Elden Ring. It was Dark Souls 3.
Dark Souls 3.
Yeah, that was awful.
So I never have that problem because I'm an antisocial person and always play offline because I don't want anyone else playing.
You say that, but your co-streamer is here.
we haven't-
I convinced him.
We haven't done Dark Souls yet.
No, that's on our to-do list at some point.
Yeah, I think we're probably going to do 3 because I think that's the easiest one for matchmaking.
Yeah.
Adrienne, have you been playing anything?
So this will probably actually lead into your topic. So I just did actually, funny enough, Platinum 200, which was Jedi Survivor, which I loved. Very happy with that game. And I'm actually now, I've gone back to Resident Evil 4 and I'm trophy hunting. I know the DLC's just come out, and I know, Chris, that was something you kind of wanted to bring up, separate ways. I've not actually started that yet, but yeah, I've just on my handgun and knives run only on Resi 4. So now I'm building myself up to a professional run. We'll have to see how that goes. I always find with Resident Evil games, you kind of have to build yourself up through them. Well, I do anyway. I find you have to start off a little bit easier, play it again, keep going and get used to the run.
Because on the, not the remake, the original, I got it on my Xbox 360, and I've actually got the complete gamer score for it. But I haven't tried to do the same thing on the remake just yet.
Yeah, I'm really happy with the remake. The remake was very beautifully done, I think.
Yes.
Very beautifully done.
One of
And
the top-
same with 2 and 3, to be honest with you. Although I have found that obviously Village is very similar to 4. When you compare kind of storyline and settings, you kind of got a very similar basis, which I think may be why that's done so well.
Well, I think 8 was very inspired by Resi 4
It
intentionally.
was, yeah. Just, you've got the village and then you've got the castle area and then you kind of go into the industrial warehouse kind of section. It's just instead of Heisenberg, you've got, with Krauser at the end. So yeah, it does very much have, I think, a similar theme and a similar layout. But I think that's maybe what makes it so enjoyable, especially for newer gamers who probably didn't grow up with the Resident Evil series. I'm an old girl, so I don't remember the originals, unfortunately.
You say that, you're only 3 years older than me, so not that much.
6 years younger than me.
Hey, Grandad Spanky.
Back in my day, a young weapon.
During the war.
Like, you say you're that much. Yeah.
In the Great Console Wars of 1998.
Like, I thought Weldy was like the same age as you, Chris, and then I realised, no, he's younger than my brother, and I was like, okay, that's changed everything.
Way to make Chris feel old.
Yeah, sorry, Chris.
I can just see myself turning to dust like fucking Avengers Infinity War.
Dan's just on the snap.
Yeah.
Well,
since
you
we're
heard
on
that
the-
snap, but there you go.
Since we're on the topic of Resident Evil 4, I finished the Separate Ways DLC that came out last week. I very much enjoyed it. I was hesitant at first because I thought, how much of this is going to be like copy and pasted from like the main campaign? Because the Resident Evil 8 DLC did that, and I fucking hated it for that. It's like 95% is just the same maps. It's like, are you fucking shitting me? What a rip off that was. But this one was cheaper It was only like £8. If you play it casually, it's surprisingly lengthy. It's got like 7 chapters to it. Obviously, once you start speedrunning and that, you realise you're like, oh, I can beat it in like an hour. So,
I saw your S rank time.
yeah, but that's when you got like unlimited rocket launchers, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which I tell you what, tip for you, Aiden. If you're going to do the professional run, just get the unlimited rocket launcher. Yeah,
I'm already saving.
That's why, like, even on the main campaign for Resident Evil 4, I think in like Resident Evil 8 as well. Like the hardest difficulty on that, it seems balanced around having like the unlimited magnum in that, because I'm not sure how the fuck you meant to do it otherwise.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of saying. Like, you've got to build up and do it as sort of like a new game plus kind of thing in order to do it. So I did Nightmare, but I wouldn't have done it without the magnum.
No, same. I genuinely don't know how, because like the bosses take like so much damage to kill. It's like this one's like does like 8 billion damage a shot, and it's taking like 30 shots to kill the damn thing. It's like, I'm meant to kill this like an upgraded handgun. It's like, it's not going to happen.
You saying about the DLC for Village, I did buy that, but the only reason I bought that was so I could have Chris for Mercenaries. That is literally the only reason I did it. Because I sat on Mercenaries for a year until I got that.
I don't really play the Mercenaries, like the arcade sort of mode, because it never really appealed to me. I don't know why. I love the campaigns, and I've played them to death and again and again. But the Mercenaries, I'll have a quick go at it, maybe a little bit longer if like, there might be a trophy or a reward tied to it. It's like, maybe I'll do it for a little bit, but honestly, they don't appeal to me. I think it's because I like to play like Resident Evil. I like to like take my time and explore. Like, I think that's a major part of it, like trying to sort my items out, trying to be scrupulous, and that's all sort of gone in when you're just trying to do everything fast, like try and kill it as many as you can in a short space of time. I don't find that anywhere near as fun.
I wouldn't have done Mercenaries if it hadn't been required for Platinum Trophy. That's the only reason I did it. And you had to get an S rank in every single map doing it. So
can you guess? There's 2 trophies I've not got in Resident Evil 8. Can you guess which ones they are? Actually, it might just be one. Actually, I'm gonna have to have a look.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to look.
I think one of them was literally just to play around with Mercenaries or something like that. And yeah, but then I know there was the trophy for doing S rank on all of them, and that was just miserable, absolutely miserable.
Let's see.
So how's Separate Ways been so far? Or well, now you've beaten it.
So no, sorry, I just got slightly distracted. Sorry. Yeah, it was fine. I say I quite enjoyed it. I think you get your money's worth out of it, and there's more than enough unique content. There are a few areas that you revisit for like the main campaign.
Oh yeah.
But you're normally only just there for like to cut through. Because Ada's got a grappling hook, which there's a big emphasis on.
Yeah.
So Ada spends like 99% of the time on roofs. She's obsessed. I think she's terrified of being on the ground. I think she's got the opposite of like a fear of heights. It's like, it's got to be the way around. It's like, I must be more than like 10 feet off the floor at any one time. Yeah.
Okay, I bought it, but I haven't played it yet. Although I've got it both on my PS4 and PS5, and I'm like, maybe I should just carry on on the PS4, because although I've got the PS4 version, but I've downloaded the PS4 version on my PS5. But I'm probably just gonna go back to my PS4 and play it. But I'm looking forward to giving it a go. I remember Separate Ways being quite fun when I played it on the original on the 360. So it wasn't on the GameCube version when I had the GameCube version. It's the only version of Resi 4 that it's not on.
Oh.
Yes, because it's the original. Because Resi 4 was made for the GameCube.
GameCube, that's right. God.
And so it's the only copy. It's the only edition of Resi 4 that doesn't have Separate Ways. From the PS2, Xbox, and going forth has Separate Ways.
Yeah, it also has a mode called Assignment Ada as well.
Isn't that the same thing?
No, it's not. It's a different mode entirely. It doesn't take very long, though. It's like a one-shot kind of deal.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the idea is you have to like traverse the entire map of like it's like the island section, and there's like 5 Las Plagas samples you've got to and then like escape. But the easiest way to do it is like clear out everywhere, because you've got very limited inventory space, and these like samples you have to take up quite a bit of room. So just go around the entire map, clear out everywhere, and then pick up the samples. It may take a little longer, but then once you've cleared out every single room, just go back and collect them all, and then just piss off. Because
I was going to say, it was starting to sound a bit like, was that a Force Survivor mode in Resi 2, where you had to get through that in like one run? Yeah.
That was brutal. Yeah, I think that might be the hardest trophy to get in Resi 2 remake. doing it as Hunk. I did it, and I've got no idea how I did it. I just sort of ran and the entire time I was going, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck.
The trick was it was dodging the lickers. That was the trick, so you didn't waste resources on the lickers. Yeah.
When you get right to the end, there's just a hallway and it's absolutely crammed full of like every enemy in the game. It's like, how the fuck am I going to get through this?
Yeah, I have 3 bullets. Let's do this.
You've literally got to get it down meticulously to like exactly what you need in every room. It's like, right, we'll go in this room. I must use a flash grenade. I'll go in this room. I'll pop that zombie in the head. Stop that zombie in the head. Don't kill him because I ain't got enough ammo. Just literally like make him stagger and then run. You got to do that for like every room. You just got to know exactly what to do.
Yeah.
Plan your route, and even then, it's like when you get to the end, it's just fucking chaos. It's just go, and hope for the best.
Everything's just outside. Yeah. Oh god.
I think the way I managed to do it is like to get to the final door. I think I did get hit by a licker, but from the back, so it sort of like nudged me forward a bit, and that was just enough to get me over the finish line. I got hit up the arse and won. What was I talking? Yeah, separate ways. Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I recommend it. It's way better than the 8 DLC. I really like it. I mean, if you played the original and like the Simon Ada, it does actually change it up quite a lot. It's not the same at all. It is quite different. Just like
even Resi 4 remake changed it up a lot. So, you know.
It did. Yeah. One of the things that annoyed most people in Resi 4 was like, there's like a boss fight missing. But don't worry, it's in this.
Which one's that?
And they expand on it. I won't say which one it is.
Oh, that one, yes. That is missing from the remake.
Don't worry, it's there, and they double down on it.
Okay, that's... That'll be interesting.
We missed out that boss fight, so I have several of them instead.
Oh, no. Oh no!
It's kind of weird because I'd say it's kind of got like a sort of nemesis thing because he like follows you, but it's like only really through cutscenes and like a couple of encounters.
Okay, well, I'll play it eventually. I'll try and play it soon.
It's good. I think my first playthrough took approximately 6-7 hours, but I really did take my time, like looking for every single treasure, trying to do everything. The one thing that I'm gonna say that's bad about it, and I think it's just because I don't think I'm ever gonna do it. One of the trophies is to do it on professional mode with an S+ rank. I don't think I'm ever gonna do that. If you've no idea why that sounds so bad, the only way you can get an S+ rank is to do it on a fresh save file. So no rocket launchers, no upgraded anything, just do it.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
So you got to do it under 2 hours.
Basically.
Just like your basic weapon.
Get good.
Hell no. Oh, and there's no auto-save either, so fuck you.
Oh, right. Excellent. So I'm going to have that fun. And I go to do it.
Well, at least you have to do it to get the platinum. Because it's
that's true. It's like a separate trophy list. That's fine.
There you go. Well, I'll play it eventually. Is there any new weapons or?
I'd say new, but they're kind of from the original version. So you got like an exploding crossbow bolt weapon, but honestly, I never used it. It is powerful, but it takes up so much space in your inventory. It's like a quarter of your space. So I was like, and then like each of the crossbow bolts take like 3 spaces each. So it's like, no. I carried it around to use it because there's like one achievement for like killing like 10 enemies with it. So as soon as I've done that, I was like, yeah, you can go in the box. I'll get you in an emergency.
Standard.
Yeah, never needed it though. Honestly, the best gun in the game, and like minus like the infinite rocket launcher, just your Red 9 handgun.
Red 9
deals with everything.
Red 9 is the goat.
It sure is.
I said it.
Fucking goat.
What?
Yeah.
You know the meme. That's a goat. No, it's a fucking goat.
When I think of it, I think of the other meme where it's that's where's the goat. The goat. That one.
I heard that one. I just like the fucking goat.
I think I've watched too many YouTube reels or Instagram reels where I've just seen that.
Yeah, you need to detox that.
Never. Never. I don't think. I wasted mine earlier today. I was like, I need to do the shopping, and then I spent 5 minutes looking at social media, and I was like, what am I doing? I need to go do the shopping. So there you go.
Yeah, don't fall down the internet rabbit hole because I'm not going in there to lift you back out. Because I'll be joining you down there with there very shortly.
Don't worry, I have a fresh set of memes always. This is what happens when I record with Ass.
Yes.
We have Adrienne, we brought you on here mainly to talk about trophies and achievement hunting. And since you've not got many, only 200 platinum trophies, not many.
Compared to
my 15, Like, it's really not many. Why?
Why did I get into it? Probably a bit of a somber story, I guess. I've always gamed growing up, but I didn't really get into trophy hunting. It was until about 18 months ago. Bit of backstory, I actually had a nervous breakdown 8 years ago.
Okay.
And since then, kind of mental health wise, has always been a bit up and down.
Yeah.
And it was actually around about 18 months ago, I had a really, really bad dip to the point, how do I say this? I picked a day. Let's just say it that way. I picked a day until my boss kind of pulled me aside one day and asked me, "Are you okay?" twice. And I broke down, and he encouraged me to go back to my doctors, get help. And it was kind of through that recovery process that I really started focusing on trophy hunting. It was something to kind of keep my mind busy. And I was playing games I loved and I wanted to play, but I was like, okay, let's see if I can 100% it. Let's kind of do that. And then it kind of grew into, I wanted to share that with people, because I was kind of doing this and I was like, I kind of want to share these achievements. I'm kind of doing some of them are pretty difficult. So then that's how Adrienne's Revenge started, with the Instagram and then the streaming, so I could kind of share that with everybody. And it's kind of carried on, and it's just a nice little, I guess a distraction really in a way for me. When I'm having a blue day, like I'll go, right, let's go focus and see if I can do like Resi 4. I've just done my handgun and knives only run, and now I'm working on my standard and I'll go up to hardcore. So yeah, for me, that's kind of my escape, I guess.
Like you say, that's a somber story, but it's not really. That's quite inspirational. It's quite, you're taking a hobby, and as someone who's, watches your streams and is part of your Discord, and when you're on our podcast, like you've brought a lot of joy to a lot of people.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's kind of weird to look back at the last 18 months, and you think, I very never nearly met you guys and streamed with Spanky or any one of my community. It's kind of very weird to think of it that way, but it's kind of nice that I stayed, and I've got such a lovely, I call them my family now. my little Revenger clan. I consider every one of them my family, and it's so nice to have found a bunch of people who are all interested in the same things. Like some people love speedrunning, and I've met a lot of trophy hunters, and other people who just, they're maybe not into those niche areas, just love playing games. And yeah, we all just have a good laugh, I think, and that's the nice thing about it.
I have a burning question for you, Adrienne. So in all of your time in hunting trophies and doing all the bits, which trophies that you have, what trophies do you feel like have helped you the most during that journey of recovery?
Okay, that's not the question I thought you were going to ask.
What is your hardest trophy is going to be coming up soon, but
that's what I thought you were going to ask.
While the somber thought, let's just see what trophy has that biggest impact on you.
Or maybe you say, what is your most important platinum?
Yeah, I've done it. I've actually done so many platinum trophies since I started this 18 months ago. I think I only had about 40 or something when I started, and because they were dating back to PS3 days, and so I've probably earned about 160 since I've done this, because I'm at 204 current total today. The Crash Bandicoot trilogy was, I'd say, my hardest. One that kind of helped me the most to that time, it's probably The Last of Us Part 2. That was a game, I love The Last of Us series, and that was one I started playing it when it came out, and then I revisited it as one of my very early ones. I think I did that around the time that I was first going back to the doctors and doing all that kind of thing. And I kind of got really attached to that story, especially because I think that game itself has a lot of mental health focus with some of the plot points that goes on, certainly with kind of death and mourning on Ellie's side of things, and Abby's as well. I know there was kind of a lot of negative reviews at the time of Last of Us Part 2, but that I think for me was probably the biggest one that helped me get through at the time. But yeah, definitely hardest so far has been the Insane trilogy. Everyone's like, hey, Crash Bandicoot now. I'm going for Crash 4 as well. I think when I eventually do that, that will be my hardest trophy of all time. And after that, I'm never touching a Crash Bandicoot game ever again.
Until Crash 5 comes.
No, I refuse. I absolutely refuse. It was actually my friend Andy who challenged me to do it. He challenged me to do Crash 1 for Platinum 100. And he said do Crash 4 for Platinum 200. I was like, okay. And the OCD in me was like, well, I've got to do 2 and 3 as well. I can't just do 1 and 4.
You can't not do the two best Crash games, Crash 2 and Crash 3.
Exactly. I mean, going back to 1, the controls are so clunky. So clunky.
Crash 1 has a lot of nostalgia, and the Insane Trilogy really, I knew that people would like that game through nostalgia. Then the Insane Trilogy came out, and I was like, people are going to complain. Guess what? People complained.
Yeah. That's what people love doing.
It's just the saving, not on the remaster, but on the Insane Trilogy, but the original had terrible saving. And some of the levels were the checkpoints were really badly designed. And then you just had a whole load of people just been as I said, complaining over it. And I'm like, well, you clearly haven't played it for 20 years. And it shows.
Yeah.
Not the reason why it's Crash 1 is bottom of the barrel of OG Crash games. It's still good, but it's if you compare it to Crash 2 and Crash 3, it's the same with Spyro 2 and Spyro 3. Those sequels went leaps and bounds after the first one.
Oh,
yeah, I mean, you've got to have a game to find your feet.
Yeah, when
that's what a lot of do, but yeah.
Yeah. You play Crash 1 now, it's God, I can't slide, I can't double jump, I can't, all the basic things that you've got in 2 and 3 that made it just so much easier. But I think the devs kind of went a little bit too far with 4. I remember starting it on stream and I was like, oh my god, you can do this now? And someone was like, it gets worse. Because I started it. I'm currently 185 hours of gameplay into Crash 4. This is how horrible it is, and this is why I kind of had to stop doing it as a milestone trophy, because I was like, I am just going to be playing this for the rest of the year if I don't break it up. And it's okay, you don't just have 1 gem anymore in a level doing all the boxes. You've got 6 gems to get, and it's getting a certain percentage of the Wumpa fruits, all the crates, a special hidden one, doing it under 3 deaths. And it's oh god, right, okay. And I was doing it and I was like, why does everyone's saves go bad? This is so bad to do. And then I got to the point where you unlock inverted mode, so then you've got to do all the same levels mirror image backwards. And you've got to get 6 gems in those as well. And then you've got to get insanely perfect relics, which is 100% of boxes in the level without dying. And then you've got to do all the platinum time trials. And I was just all the flashback tapes, and I was just Jesus Christ, okay. It is as horrible as I've heard.
Yeah, that sounds nightmarish.
Yeah.
Too much.
Currently, I think I've not picked it up in about a month or 2. I literally kind of put it down. I was like, I'm going to play Skyrim and Jedi and enjoy myself for a little bit.
Have you got the platinum for Skyrim?
So I've got the platinum for Skyrim, but on the 4 version, and I've started doing the legendary version, so I can platinum all over again.
Yes, because it's such a fun and although it is time consuming, it is an easy platinum to do. It
is fairly easy. It is basically kind of doing the Dark Brotherhood quest lines, doing the Thieves Guild quest lines, Mages Guild.
I found the Thieves Guild takes the longest because you just have to you do all those little quests.
Jobs.
You just wait for the big quests and
it's just RNG.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, it's just lucky if you get the one you need in the village that you still need to get a special job and you're like, come on. After that, though, I always do the Crown of Baron Zaya quest, because then you get unlimited gemstones and gold in all the chests and stuff that you find in barrels in the world. So then you're just mega rich and you can go around and get everything you need. So that's usually my little playthrough that I do that. But yeah, Skyrim's a nice easy one. It's just that's one of those games sort of where you mentioned about Lies of Pierre. It's very linear, but you can go and do offshoots. RPGs like Skyrim, you can just get so engrossed, and all of a sudden you've spent 300 hours and you've not even done the second main quest yet.
Yeah, still not full Sparrow.
Okay. Yeah. I should probably go and do this now, and then you're wandering in with the first level boss when you're level 70 with max dragon scale armor. Okay. So
I remember when I got the platinum for Skyrim, there's that one trophy, it's to go to the forge. Can't remember the name of the forge.
You said it bugged for you, but
yeah, it was fucking horrendous. I had to restart it, so I had 70 hours in it, just trundling through. And then it bugged, so I couldn't get this one trophy. So I had to literally make a whole new character.
Oh
Get
no.
leveled up to a point where I can get to this bit and try it again. And it bugged again at a different point.
Oh.
I had to do it again.
I never did the platinum on PS3. I think I was only missing 2 trophies, but I didn't really go platinum hunting back then. It's probably something I'll revisit once I've got 140 something games on backlog at the moment that I need to get through. And I think it's once I've gone through those and a bit, then I'll look at my PS3 catalogue and I'll probably just clean those up in Skyrim. I think I had to get a bounty of 1,000 in every hold.
Oh, that's
and then escape from jail. Yeah.
That's not too bad.
I did that one accidentally. Whoops.
Just accidentally stabbed a guard in the back, you know?
No, because I was leveling up my pickpocketing. I was like, oh shit, I'm committed now.
I accidentally put the grey fox mask on in my current playthrough in the middle of a town.
In Skyrim?
In Skyrim, yeah, you get the grey fox mask. There's a little side quest.
Do you? It's been a while.
And
I'm going to research it now.
Yeah, I think they've added it because the Legendary Edition, which is like the anniversary one, they've added more to it. Like there's new homes that you couldn't purchase before, and I found there's been new little side quests. So I think this is a newer one.
Yeah, I think there's all sorts of stuff in the workshop side of it as well.
Yeah, you can fish and you get backpacks and. So yeah, I did this quest and got the mask. I was like, oh, I'm going to put the cowl on. And I did it in town. And then every single guard turns against you. And you're like, shit, even if you take it off, they're like, no, that's it. They're going to attack you.
Even if you are.
Oh, that's what it was like in Oblivion when you wore it.
Oh, okay. You know, I really wish that they would remaster Oblivion. I loved Oblivion. Probably more than Skyrim. Probably a controversial opinion. But I love Oblivion.
Well, I hear something similar. I think I prefer Skyrim, but I can see why people would prefer Oblivion.
Yeah, I think. I know it sounds sad, but even like the menu points, just aesthetically, was so, like more in keeping with like the theme and. Yeah, but although interestingly back then they didn't have trophies for Oblivion on PlayStation. They were only Xbox achievements, and they didn't bother with PlayStation. And it's kind of weird how it's turned now. Like back in the day, like Xbox achievements, everybody wanted Xbox achievements, and nobody really cared about the PlayStation side. But I think that's kind of really changed now. I think people prefer trophy hunting.
I forgot about that. There were some PS3 games that didn't have trophies when you got them.
Yeah,
I forgot about that because I remember when my brother had his PS3, there were a few games we had at the time that didn't have trophies on, and then some would, and then you go on have it on those same games on Xbox and have achievements.
Yeah, it like doing the gamer scores was a really big thing for Xbox from the beginning. So it's kind of nice that trophy hunting has grown on PlayStation, I think. And there's something more satisfying about saying, yeah, I got a platinum trophy or a gold trophy.
There is something way more satisfying saying, oh, I got a platinum, and then instead of, oh yeah, I got max gamer score on this.
Yeah, I got my 1,000 points.
Chris, you've been quiet.
Well, you've been talking away. I didn't want to interrupt. I gotta say, like, I didn't have a PS3 for like the longest time. I had the 360, so I mostly did like the achievements. So when I finally like picked up the PlayStation, I never really got into trophy hunting because it's like, well, I've already got this backlog of achievements now. It seems like this is conflicting. So I was like, I never really bother with it unless it's a game that I really, really, really like. And it gave me like a goal. It's like, right, I want to play this game again. But now I've got that to aim for. Fuck it, let's do it.
I think this is why I like doing double platinums on PlayStation. So if you got the 4 version, you can get a 5 version. If I love it, then I'm like, I'll happily do it all over again.
Yeah.
And get the trophy as a bonus.
I'm the same. Take Skyrim as a good example.
Yeah, this is why I went quiet earlier for a few seconds, because I was looking at my trophy list and thinking, why the fuck have I only got 57% trophies on Resident Evil 8? And then I realised, oh yeah, it's because like the platinum's on the PS4 version, not the PS5 version.
Oh, and 5 didn't auto pop everything.
No, it didn't. I don't think I've had any auto pops.
Because on my Final Fantasy 15, I've got the platinum, but because of all the DLC, it's like 40%, 47%. But then it's like, but I've got all the trophies on the base game, but I've not even touched the DLC.
And sometimes, sorry,
I was going to say for my my Xbox 360 ones, I don't think you can even see like all the gamer score from like the old games. Like you can only see from like Xbox One onwards.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, I can't see them because I know for like here's an example of a game like Dead Space, like the original one.
Yeah.
I've got the trophy for like the PS4, PS5 version, but I've also got it on Xbox as well. and the PC version as well, like the Steam version. I quite like that game. I've platinumed it 3 times.
And you've got the PlayStation version to do.
I've done the remaster. I've done that as well.
Yeah.
So, done. The only downside to it is like when like Dead Space 2 remake comes out, it's like, oh fuck, I'll platinum that, haven't I? Now?
Yeah.
This is like slightly why my heart sinks every time they do like a new Resident Evil game. That's like another 100 hours of my life gone.
Yeah.
When I'm on playthrough number 20, is like, oh god, I've just got to do this section again without getting hit.
Not gonna lie, my heart sank when you didn't get the 3 platinums for Spyro Reignited. My heart literally sank.
Well, I never grew up with it, and I was like never that bothered. I'm like, they were fun to play through, but I can't be asked to get the trophy. And it's like I played through them once. It's like, yeah, that's enough. Am I going to bother doing it?
It's such an easy one.
So easy.
I have a confession about the Spyro Reignited trilogy.
I'm covering my ears.
So, the platinum for I've got all 3 platinums. There we go. I've got that. But the platinum for 1 and 2 are perfect. You got 100% both of those games. The platinum for number 3 though is not good because you don't have to 100% the game.
No, you don't.
So I've got it, and as soon as I got the platinum, I've not played it since. I've not even actually beaten 100% of it because I was like, well, I've got 100%.
Yeah, that's no point.
Yeah, what do I get? Oh, I've already done it on the PS1. I don't get anything trophy wise, so
you do get to flame money bags up the arse. I mean, that's something.
I've done that, but
the back deserves it.
That's a trophy. That's a trophy anyway. But as soon as you get the platinum on Spyro 3, you're like, well, I don't need to kill the sorcerer again. Don't need to race those fucking
the biplanes.
The Rhinox in the last race, which I threw my controller at a wall, and then I think once I did it, I put it on social. I think I swore on social media, and then I think my parents were like, "Why have you put that status?" I was like, "Oh shit, this was years ago." But oh well. I think that's the only downside of the Spyro 3 Platinum is that you don't have to 100% it. I think, despite how frustrating the super level is, I would preferred that you had to do that to get the Platinum. But then I can understand why they didn't, because the super level can be quite frustrating.
Yeah,
mainly just the race. I fucking hate the race. Did I mention I hate the race?
I actually enjoy the races a lot. I loved anything with the skateboarding.
I think for me as well, I think it was mostly muscle memory from when I was a kid, because I played the Spyro games to death when I was so young. I was like, yeah, you go here and you jump here and you do that, and it was just all still ingrained in my hands. So I didn't mind going back and doing that.
Okay, the big question I have to ask, Adrienne, is have you bought a game just because you knew the platinum was really, really easy?
Oh, God.
I'm calling her out.
This is kind of a big topic in the trophy hunting shovelware games.
So you bought my name is Mayo, my jar of mayo.
I've done all 3 My Name is Mayo. I've done them. I'm not proud to say that I've done them.
You can tell.
You do just literally click on a jar of mayo.
You can tell I've watched PlayStation Access at one point. Good old Rob.
My friend Andy calls them grubby plats. That was his term for them for any shovelware game, and I don't touch them anymore. I mean, My Name is Mayo isn't as bad as some of them out there. I'm talking games like Jumping Fries, where you don't even have to individually press X. You can literally hold your button on the controller for 2 minutes and you've done it. So yeah, I have unfortunately tainted my trophy list with a few of those games in my time. But I bought them not realizing at the time, and then I was like, oh shit, they're all just going to be like this. Although, do you know what? My Name is Mayo 3 did actually take me a good hour. So I'm not sorry about that. That is a game. It is kind of the basic, and you just click on the mayo. But at the end, you have to guide the mayo through like a forest trail, and that takes so slow. So yeah, but I won't do any games like that anymore. If I do obviously do some shorter games to break up. Like obviously, you don't just want to do 40+ hour AAA games all the time.
Yeah,
like that kind of wears you down. So. Like I just did Deliver Us Mars on PS4 and PS5, and that's probably like about an 8-hour game. The Suicide of Rachel Foster as well I just played, and that took me about 3 hours. But that was a fun, interesting game. So I don't mind shorter games that actually have substance to them.
to be fair,
Yeah.
Looking at my trophy list, most of my platinums, or like half of them, are just Telltale games, which... As long as you beat the game, there you go. You get a platinum.
Yeah,
so,
you just get it for completing the trophies. Yeah, like the chapters or whatever. Certainly in the early Walking Dead ones, I think it was just literally chapter 1, 2, 3. The later Walking Dead seasons in the Telltale series, they did actually put a couple of challenge ones in there. So you had to I think it was season 4, the final season, whatever it was. You had to kind of get the rabbits, like hunt the rabbits, and had to get both of them or something like that. So they did kind of make it a little bit more challenging in some points, but again, I don't mind those being easy ones.
You're playing for the story rather than the trophies.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I would say so with Telltale.
I was trying carry on, Adrienne.
Oh, sorry, I was going to say it's similar with the Dark Pictures anthology, really. They're short games, but then because your decisions they affect the outcome of the ending. So you can actually play through them a good few times, even if the trophies are a bit easy. It's fun to go back and replay the game.
That's looking at like I said, I'm looking through my trophy list, and I'm just like, the amount of games that I need to get a lot more trophies on is quite alarming.
I've got quite a lot because I went for a phase a few months ago, as mentioned on the podcast, where I wanted to go through and platinum a lot of games, like in particular Dark Cloud, Dark Chronicle, each one over 100 hours each.
Dark Cloud's amazing.
I love the Dark Cloud. I'm so thankful I found another kindred spirit for this. But I do have one major gripe with a lot of trophies. Like, what's your thoughts on trophies which basically you have to play online and do multiplayer for, even though the whole base of the game you can get away with just
doing
playing by yourself?
Yeah, this is funny enough because I did kind of write down a few pointers for this evening, and that was one of the things. Like Spanky said earlier, especially until I started my page, I was a solo gamer. I didn't have friends on PSN. I didn't play games with anybody, and games specifically designed for couch co-op, things like A Way Out or It Takes Two, they're designed for co-op, so you're prepared to sit down. You've got to play that with somebody, but games like Dying Light or even Dead Island that we started last night, you've kind of got your thing, and like you can do it all yourself, and it's like play with 10 other players for at least 15 minutes, and I'm like, I don't even have 10 friends. Where am I going to find 10 players to do a trophy with? So I think trophies like that, particularly as well, kind of older games now where they start taking down a lot of the servers,
yes,
and deactivate them. So then you kind of just in this thing that you're never going to be able to get the platinum trophy for the game. I think that just kind of ruins it for the players a little bit. I'm not a fan of those.
Because I've got a lot of trophies which I'm stuck. Like, I'm looking at you, Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, I have to play ranked games online. I'm just like, I know that at some point that server's going to get deactivated.
Yeah.
I just refuse to play online because people are arseholes.
Yeah, that's the thing. You do find a lot of arseholes online.
Brandon, you've got to believe in heart the cards. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, but I'm not going to believe in the heart of the cards when people are just like obviously rage cheating because they've got nothing better to do, or you just can't find anyone within your bracket or whatever. It's like,
I had a good Yu-Gi-Oh meme. If I'd known you were going to mention Yu-Gi-Oh, I would have sent that to you. I would have saved it yesterday and sent it to you. To be honest, it's literally the King of Queens meme that's been going around with him with the Yugi Moto hair. That's all it is.
I think I might have seen that one, actually. Yeah, I have actually seen it, yes.
It's like when you don't believe in the heart of the card, and it's just him with the Yugimoto hair.
I'm going through my trophy list, right? And there's two things that irritate me about it aesthetically. One, some of the games, even though I've got 100% of the trophies on them, there's no platinum for them. I'm looking at you.
I hate those games.
I've played Sonic Mania to death and I don't get a trophy for it.
Yeah, there are still a lot out there where you just 100% them and there's not platinum.
Yeah, it's irritating. I feel like I should earn one. But, oh well.
I've got.
The other thing is, go on.
Oh no, it's just like another game like What Remains of Edith Finch. I've got 100% on that, but no platinum.
The weird thing is the PS5 version for that game did. The PS4 didn't, but the PS5 has a platinum. So it's like, just give me one on the 4 version as well.
Oh,
Like, come on.
I guess I must go for another fields trip.
Yeah.
So the other thing is, you get a platinum and you do it all, and it's got a nice thick 100% completion.
I know what you're saying.
Love that. And then there's like some DLC that you don't care about, and it lowers your percentage. So I'm really irritated. Like that. It's like, I've done Spider-Man. I've got a platinum trophy on that, and now it's saying, I've only done like 60% of the game.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you. I've done it.
It's like what I mentioned earlier with Final Fantasy 15. I've got the platinum, but it's like 47%.
This is what... There's actually a clip of me from my Twitch stream. I did the platinum for Crash 3 on stream, and I actually sat there when it's done. Fuck the DLC. I'm not doing that. I'm just deleting it off my hard drive. So I think that sat at around 80-something% for the DLC.
Wait, Crash 3 has DLC?
Yeah, it was. So Crash 1 had
I know Crash
Stormy
1 did.
Ascent, and Crash 3 as well did. I'm just wondering, oh god, I did it a little while ago. But yeah, I just literally sat there when I ain't doing this. I ain't touching it. The base game's done. So let me find it. Yes, I'm at 94%. So Crash 2 didn't have DLC, but Crash 3 did. And it's called Future Tense.
I remember that now. Yep.
Yeah, so you've got to do that. And I just went, no, it's going in the bin. I'm never touching this again.
It's like you mentioned like online. Well, this is on the Xbox. I've got I've sold it now, but when I had it, I had Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 2, and I'd got all the achievements except one online one. It was so annoying. And as much as I was kind of pretty good at that fighting game, I could not do the online because people are too good online.
People are assholes.
They could easily counter my Rasen Shuriken by Sage Mode Naruto, so I couldn't do it. But I had everything else.
So I remember playing Saints Row back in the day. I think it was Saints Row 3, and I never did online gaming. I was pretty sure I turned it off. And all of a sudden, I had someone just running me over in the street. And I was like, what the hell? Like, who is this person? How have they ended up in my game? And that just put me off playing Saints Row 3 altogether. I was like, God. Because I could have sworn I had my settings to private, but somehow this arsehole was still in my game, just running over me back and forth. I was like, right, okay, all right. But I must admit, actually, because like in the last 18 months, kind of growing the community, it has meant that I've been able to get some people together. So if there are online trophies or multiplayer trophies, I've kind of helped find people, or I've helped people out, people have helped me out, or we've brought people together so that they can get the online or co-op trophies done. We've sort of teamed up. So yeah, Andy and I did Man of Medan, which was the first game in the Dark Pictures anthology, and it is the only game to expect you to do shared story, which is online co-op. And I was like, well, I'm never going to get that then. But meeting people, Andy and I was like, right, let's just do it. And we'll just do a run where we kill everybody. So it's as short as possible and just smash it out. And same with Dying Light. We helped each other with Dying Light 1. So there's a lot of co-op trophies in that. Dying Light 2, I cheesed by I just literally jumped into a random stranger's game. I became that person that I hated and I just joined someone's game and all I had to do was kill 100 zombies. So I just jumped in there and just went on my merry way, left them to their questing.
Standard. Have you played Nier Automata?
I haven't.
Okay, well, the reason why I'm bringing it up is it has a quite an interesting trophy mechanic. Once you get to like the end of the third playthrough, effectively you can buy all the in the game you can buy all the trophies you haven't unlocked.
Wow, what? Really?
Yeah, it's a real thing.
Oh my god, that's insane. So you could just like cheese it to the end, and then just be like, yeah, I'll buy everything.
So I've got the platinum, and I have actually done it all. But before I had actually done it all, I actually cheesed it and bought the last trophy or two in the game before I actually did them, because I was like, oh, I don't know if I can be asked to do it. And then I actually did it, and I was like, I don't know why I bought them. I didn't even need to, because I've actually done them. I think it was like the one I remember buying was you had to find like these artifacts, and I was a bit like, I can't be asked. I'm just gonna buy it, and I think that was the only one. But I have actually done it all. Like I have I upload my save data. I have actually done all the stuff to get all the trophies normally. But I have to admit, I did buy one of the trophies, and I kind of regret buying it because I didn't need to. Because I actually did it anyway.
I've got a pretty sad story actually. It's just reminded me.
Bring out the violins, boys.
So I actually did the platinum trophy for Fall Guys. That was actually quite a difficult one to do. I was sat for ages on a trophy, which was win 5 episodes in a row. Okay. But there was one trophy on that game that was notably bugged, and that was to perform an emote before crossing the finish line first. So I'd was at the front of the race, and I had a really big margin because I was like, I swear I've done it, but look, I've got all this time, no one's even near me. And so I did the emote in full, then crossed the line, and the trophy didn't pop, and I looked it up and it's like known bug. So I contacted the support team for Fall Guys.
Oh dear.
With the clip of me doing it. And within an hour, the trophy just suddenly popped on my PlayStation, like, we've sorted it for you. It was the saddest thing I have ever done for a trophy. I literally complained to dev support to get it unlocked. So yeah, that was probably one of not my finest moments, but I did it.
Because I've been slowly trying to get the platinum for the original, for Dark Souls Remastered. But I think the only one I'm going to struggle with is the acquire all rare weapons, because you've got to do 3 playthroughs to do it. Well, no, you got to do 2.5 playthroughs on the same character.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Well, no, it can be done, but it depends how good you are at the game.
It's like for me, for my Elden Ring Platinum, I just did the same character for all 3 playthroughs.
We all 3 of us know that I'm the worst player of Soulsborne out of the 3 of us. So I do struggle on the Souls games more than you and Chris, Brandon.
Oh, you just reminded me when you said about Soulsborne. I'm really tempted now to try. Because Sekiro is a completely offline game. I could try to platinum that, but I may go Bold and Grey at the same time.
If I've still got hair after Crash 4, I think you'll be okay.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Sekiro's a rough one.
It's fucking difficult.
Well,
I never actually beat it. I think I couldn't beat the last boss. Couldn't do it.
I haven't even beaten it. Is it Genichiro? Who's technically like the second boss.
I've done 3 separate playthroughs and got to the final boss every time.
I think the worst one is to beat all the mini bosses. That's awful.
On my playthrough of Sekiro, I've only beaten the first boss. That's how hard it is. I love the aesthetic. I love everything about it. I think because it's not a Souls game like Dark Souls or Elden Ring or Demon Souls or Bloodborne, where you can't just brute force leveling.
No.
And that's why I struggle. But I love that they took a chance and they did something different. And I know it's just not a game for me, but I love it, and I would love to get further. I would love to have the same attitude I did have with Dark Souls. But I think it's just too much. It's just too much. and I don't think I ever will.
Yeah, there's not much you can do if you like come against a brick wall because like Sekiro is not all that open. Once you've done everything you can, there's no way you can upgrade yourself. It's just like, yeah, I just have to be good at the game. It's like there's no way I can level myself up. Like you can change your loadout and you think, oh, maybe this is not working. I can try this instead, but didn't get on with it all that well. I mean, I like the game enough to play it through 3 fucking times, but still never beat the damn thing.
Funny, you're mentioning about getting players online to do trophies. I actually need someone to help me with that rare weapons for Dark Souls because I can't get behind Sif to get the Moonlight Greatsword.
Can you not?
I'm a poo-poo. I can't do it.
Well, I'll tell you what. I've got the Dark Souls trilogy to start.
There we go.
There you go. You got your soft partner.
I'll distract him while you run behind and grab the sword.
There you go. It's the only game I've not got. Sorry.
I was going to say, is the Dark Souls trilogy, like the version you've got, is that separate to the regular Dark Souls? Is that not the same trophy list?
Oh,
It's Dark Souls Remastered, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3.
Yeah, it'll be the
So
same
it should be the same.
It'll be the same thing.
Yeah, because obviously there's like several versions. Dark Souls
yeah.
2, there's like Scholar of the First Edition. Like, you see what I mean?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls Scholar of the First Sin are 2 separate games.
Yeah.
That's what's weird, because you think of like, when I like think of Souls games, I go, right, you got Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin, because then Dark Souls 3, because the enemy placement in Dark Souls 2 and then Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin are completely different.
Mm-hmm.
They are literally 2 different games.
Oh, there's a load of differences. Like,
Yeah.
Like, they're all ones that you may not notice at first, but enemy placement's different, item placement's different, the Covenants works differently.
But, well, it's still the worst Souls game.
No, it's not. Fucking love Dark Souls 2.
yeah, I love Dark Souls too.
It's my favourite one.
I don't know, I was watching that... I sent you to that video earlier, and that guy trying to beat Dark Souls 2 at soul level 1. It made me just go, yep, this guy is a kindred spirit. He knows that Dark Souls 2 is the worst of the Souls games.
Let's wash your mouth out. It's Demon Souls.
Nope.
Yeah, it is Demon Souls.
It's not.
Without a doubt.
They're all great games. I'm like, but one has to be bottom.
And I vote Demon Souls.
Demon Souls. You're outnumbered here now.
I know, I'll always be outnumbered.
So surprisingly, I don't have a platinum trophy on any of the Dark Souls games because
neither do
I. Even though I challenge run them and play them again, it's always on like a fresh save file. So and there's several like tied behind like get everything in the game, get every prayer in the game, and there's a lot of you have to do it on like new game plus 3 because you have to get like rings plus 1 plus 2, and then there's like the Covenant things you got to play online. It's like can't be fun with that. Too much hassle. Can't be bothered.
I think this has been the nice thing about joining Twitch and doing everything, because I probably never would have played games like Dark Souls if I hadn't started doing this. I would have kept my usual games
I won't play games like Paw Patrol, and I've got platinum trophies.
They're your best.
How much you love Paw Patrol?
I'm not gonna lie. I went onto the Google Play Store to download an app, and instantly the Paw Patrol mobile game came out, and I was like, should I taunt Chris or not? And then I decided not to, but now I'm like, there's a new game you can play while you're on your break at work. The Paw Patrol game.
No. There's a brand new game that's just come out on Xbox and PlayStation for the new movie, so there's another one in the future.
It's not on Game Pass yet, so no.
Soon, though. It will soon be.
It will come one day.
No, I need to save money for my Halloween costume, which I haven't decided on yet.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, okay, all right. It's 2 questions for you. Okay, I either said, I've got Paw Patrol one, which is like the trophy I'm the most shameful about. So my question to you, well, 2 questions really, is 1, what's the platinum trophy you're most proud of? And secondly, what's the platinum trophy you're least proud of? Which purely wasn't worth it.
Ones that I was going to ask.
Yeah, probably. Obviously, I've mentioned I had the shovelware games, which I stupidly bought. So any one of those will be my worst one, hands down. I mean, am I proud to say I made a burrito jump up and down? No, not in the slightest.
In out of context, that sounds fantastic.
It does, yeah. But when you realise
Taco Bell for nothing.
But yeah, when you realise you've paid like $150 or whatever it was, yeah, looks like a cute fun, cheap little game, and you're like, okay, I just spent 150 for 2 minutes, and you feel dirty afterwards. Pretty much like if you'd eaten the burrito. But yeah, so any one of those games is probably my worst. One I'm proudest of. See, I've done so many, I guess purely for, obviously I've said like Crash was the hardest one, I am proud of those, but I think purely for milestone basis, it has to be Jedi Survivor for number 200. That game was so beautiful. I loved Fallen Order. I did both platinums for Fallen Order, and Jedi Survivor just kind of took all those game mechanics that you had in the original game and enhanced it 10 times. They added so much more to it with all the customization, the additional lightsaber stances. The collectibles could be a bit grindy. That was probably my only down point to the game, but hitting 200 was such a nice little achievement for me in itself. So yeah, that's probably got to be my best one.
I'll be planning to get Jedi Survivor at some point I'll play it when I can move away from Demon's Souls on the PS5.
Yeah.
Although I've got Miles Morales to play probably first because I've got Spider-Man 2
that's out
in about 2 weeks.
Yes, I'm really looking forward to that. That and Alan Wake 2. It's going to be a bad month for my bank account. Game-wise.
Oh, it's going to be a bad month for my bank account anyway because it's October and I have my parents' birthdays and then my car insurance, so yay.
Spider-Man might need to wait till next month.
Oh no, I got Spider-Man 2 because I bought my PS5 when I Spider-Man PS5.
Oh, nice. That is even though I've got a PS5, I really want a Spider-Man version.
Well, I was like, if I'm getting a PS5, I may as well go for the Spider-Man, special limited edition Spider-Man one.
Yeah.
My mate messaged me, he was like, you paid an extra 100 for the Spider-Man version. I'm like, I didn't pay an extra 100. Because I got the game with it. He's like, all right.
It's an extra $99.99.
I didn't really pay that much extra. It's probably like, he was just like, oh, you paid an extra 100 just for a different skin. I'm like, not really. Yeah, probably like an extra, 30 when you actually think about it. So not really that much in the long term.
You went disc version rather than digital?
The Spider-Man version is only disc version.
Disc version, yeah.
Although
I prefer a disc version.
Although you don't get Spider-Man 2 as a disc, you get it as a download.
No.
Oh.
I hate this now with collector's editions. It's have a steelbook, you don't get a disc.
But it's not out. That's why. I've got the download code sitting next to my console. I'm just like, give it only 18 more days, then I can use this code.
Yeah, I mean, what was it? Oh, it was God of War Ragnarok, I think it came out, and it was like this really pretty edition. And it's like, yeah, you get this really nice steelbook. You don't get a disc. You just get a blank steelbook with nothing inside it but a download code. And that, to me, is like, that pisses me off.
Wait, so the case was just the steelbook with no disc?
No disc.
What?
Yeah. And it was still like £300. For a collector's edition.
Because the amount of times I've had a steelbook, so you have the normal case and then you have the steelbook.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bit bad for God of War.
Back in my day, in Fallout, I think I spent £100 for the Fallout 4 collector's edition when that came out. And that, you got the steelbook, the physical copy of the game, a Pip-Boy that you could actually wear and put your phone in, and it linked with the game, and you got like artwork as well. And that was £100.
Chris, haven't I heard rumours that she also spent quite a bit of money on another Fallout game?
I don't know what you mean there.
Oh no, that wasn't me. That wasn't there. That wasn't. I did pre-order the collector's edition of that because it was a Fallout game and nobody knew what to expect at the time, and it was a disappointment. But yes, somebody in my community did spend $360.
Oh, I thought that was you. I didn't realise it was someone else.
Until Chris kind of schooled them on microtransactions and ruined the game.
Schooled them? I think I gave him a right fucking telling off.
You literally tore him a new A on your stream about microtransactions. I got
offended by it. It's like, how dare you talk about Fallout 76 in my channel? How dare you? What the fuck is
But Chris, it's your favourite game. Right after Paw Patrol and Goat Simulator.
He tried to
Goat
defend it.
simulators at least goat simulators broken on purpose.
I don't know. That tall goat was very interesting. Never seen one of those tall goats before.
Yeah.
Oh, what with the flippers and the...
No, it was just a giraffe.
Just a giraffe.
Oh, man, they made me laugh a few times.
Yeah.
Anyway, how the hell did we get from this? I just asked you about your favourite trophies. How the hell did we get?
did.
I
We
don't
got
know.
derailed, Fanny. Back to the joke. Right.
Back to
Random,
the
you
joke,
didn't get
yeah.
your answer.
What's
No,
that?
she said it was Jedi Survivor, and then I mentioned PS5. That's how it went.
Yeah.
There you
Let's
go.
reel it back. Reel it back.
Go on. Get that fishing rod.
Least favourite trophy to get, and like the most disappointing, and your favourite one you have.
Yeah, so most disappointing to say was any shovelware. Any shovelware that I've done is just disappointing. Thankfully, there's not many. I think there was about 5 or 10 on my account or something like that. But yeah, definitely best is Jedi Survivor. I tend to go now for games, but obviously I've met a lot of trophy hunters and they just tend to play anything and they will do it with a guide from the first playthrough and just go through so they can just do it in the quickest time possible. Whereas I tend to go for games that I do actually really want to play. So like Jedi Survivor was one I was always going to want to play, but I didn't want to kind of ruin it for myself with a guide. So I will always just play through a game first off and just enjoy it before I then go and look at the list and be like, right, okay, now I need to go back, clean up all these collectibles and do this silly little challenge or things like that.
Are you like the same as me? You look at the trophy list and it's like online achievements or ones with like stupid hoops to jump through, like do it on the hardest difficulty without dying once with no saves. Like, yeah, fuck that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there has been games that I've not gone for platinum. The Last Guardian was one of those. That is a beautiful game, and it is a really, really nice game. And I did kind of at one point go to do it, but I was like, this is just going to be one of those games on platinum. Same with like the Arkham games. I love the Arkham trilogy, but can I do the combat missions like off the side? Hell no. I can't get like over certain amounts of thousands of points.
Because
So
I've got on our Arkham Asylum, I think, because I've got it on my PC on Steam, and I've done all the story achievements, but not all the combat ones on like all the like not what they called like the challenges.
yeah,
I can't do them.
No,
Well, I can do them, but I can't do them to get all the achievements.
you've got to get like gold on each single
Yeah.
one, or a certain amount of bat symbols, whatever it was. And yeah, so games like that, I kind of resigned to the fact I'm never going to do them. But yeah, if I look at a game, say like Jedi, I will look at it and say, do you know what? I've got to get all 100 Pyro shards. It's not going to be fun, but I will do it because I enjoy the game, and I'm happily do stuff like that.
Because I still want to platinum both Ni No Kuni games. I've beaten both, and the platinum for both of them isn't too bad actually. It's just quite grindy, and they've been on the back burner for a while because I think the first one, the first one's a bit more like a Pokemon game at times. So you gotta get loads of monsters, and I think you gotta get 250 different monsters, and I just haven't done that yet. And I think there's some it's like a alchemy kind of thing, and I need loads of materials, so it's just grinding to get those materials, and I just like. I really can't be arsed. I need to put like either some podcasts or a TV show and just watch that while I grind. And the second game's a bit similar where I think there's something called Dreamer Doors. I think that's all I've got left. But the last one, you pretty much need to be max level, and I just can't be asked to grind to max level.
Sometimes there are just like, I think Dying Light 2, there was one trophy in particular that was a horrible grind, and you had to travel 960 kilometers, which it doesn't sound too bad, but then when you look at the size of the map and you think, right, from each side, like one side to the other in a straight line is only 1k. Like at the maximum points, you think, God, right. I'd done the game and on New Game Plus, and I had to then literally leave my controller rubber banded. The character running around in a circle while I was working from home. Some of them are just too, like, collectible wise. Like, I love Alan Wake. Alan Wake is a fantastic game, but was it fun to pick up 100 coffee thermoses and 100 pages and TV shows and God knows what else? No. And I think sometimes they do put too many collectibles in some games, because then you do kind of get to the point, it's like, I'm fed up of this. I don't want to go around and pick up anymore.
Yeah, I'm just looking at my Ni No Kuni 2. Yeah, I've literally I've got the last, my last trophies are all combat based. Well, one's doing all the dream doors, and then the other two are just combat based. One's a bit of RNG where you got to be awakened, and the problem is, because I'm so overpowered, I kill everything in one shot. So to get the awakened ball, if I'm killing everything in one shot, I'm not going to be awakened. And then the other one is just collecting these balls, and as long as you keep collecting them, there you go. So I'm going to try and get back and get that platinum, because it'd be nice to have the platinum for that, because it's not actually that bad. I've only got 3 or 4 including the platinum, so it'd be nice to get another one.
Yeah, go for it.
Maybe, I don't know. What's maybe either a game or a series you wouldn't mind getting the platinum on them, or next? What are you eyeing up next?
So I'm working through Resi 4, so I'm going through that. I've got a lot of horror games lined up for October, obviously. One I'm really looking forward to playing is called The Chant. I think that's going to be next on my list. Obviously, as we've spoken about, I've got the Dark Souls trilogy. I am determined to try and do those as well. But I've got so many on the list. I've got 100, I think it was 143. I looked at my list the other day. This is the problem. I keep buying games and then
first time
think, oh god, yeah, I need to actually kind of get around to playing these at some point. One game I actually am really looking forward to going back and revisiting as well is Horizon West. I actually, when I bought my PS5, I bought that with Horizon, so it's the PS5 version, and then they put I think they put it on for free 1 month with PlayStation Plus. So I was like, I've got to do the 4 version now. I've got to do it. So I am looking forward to going back and playing that again. If there's a double platinum, I will do it, especially if I love the game.
Oh yeah, I'm the same. I'm sure all of us, if it's a game we really like, we're all exactly the same.
Yeah, that's why I went for the Dark Cloud, Dark Chronicle. I fell in love with those games during lockdown. I was like, I've got to do it.
I was so glad you said about them. Dark Cloud, I remember getting that on the demo disc with my PS2 when my parents bought that.
Actually how I found out about it, and then I lost it until all of a sudden it appeared on the PlayStation Store. I was like, hang on a minute, I know that game. You know that Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he's pointing at the TV? It's like, ooh. Ooh.
It's Dark Cloud. I played that demo to death so much, I could easily do Nolan Village before the demo timer ran out.
In the 20 minutes.
In the 20 minutes, I got to that point. My parents were like, it was the same with Klonoa too, because that was on the demo disc, and
That's the name of the game. I've been trying to figure out which one it was.
I did Jungle Slider so much, and my parents were like, we'll just buy you the games. So I've still got my original PS2 copies, and yeah, so when they put that Dark Cloud on the PSN store, I've got to play it. There was one trophy that irritated me, and that to get a certain type of fish.
The Marlingarian.
Yeah, that was the one trophy that kind of sat there for.
I got that surprisingly quick. I think the one that really took the piss for me was on, I've said this before on the podcast and I'm going to keep bringing it up. Have you played Dark Chronicle, the second game?
I've got it on my hard drive to do.
Yeah, so one of the trophies is to take 100 photos or 120 photos and make every single invention. I think in the whole game, the total of 121 things you can take pictures of, and those things, once you reach a certain point in the game, they won't appear anymore. So you have to do it to a point where you can do it, and it's not until the very end of the game you get this feature where you can actually make a new character and go back, and then you can exchange the photos from that character to your new character, almost like a memory card,
right?
Sort of style activation. So that was fucking useful, because I was like 120 hours in, and then I got the platinum. I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, I was actually I was really happy because they remastered Klonoa last year, so you can get it on PS4 and PS5 now. So I've done PS5 and I'm working on PS4. I did it backwards.
That is so tempting. I remember playing like Klonoa, like again very briefly just during the demo disc, but I remember having a really good time with it.
Yeah, they brought it back. I didn't even know that they were planning on doing it. I just suddenly saw it available to order, and I was like, oh my god, Klonoa, this is my childhood. I need this. And it was only like 25 quid or something, or 30 quid when it was coming out. It wasn't a lot at all. So yeah. And I think it was my 1 year anniversary stream at the end of August. And the very first game I did on my stream was Clanera 2 PS5 version. So I bought the PS4 version to revisit for my anniversary stream. I was like, we'll go back to what started it all. So I do need to actually finish that. I need to go back and try hunt on.
I've just realised a question we've not asked you. We might have asked you this, and I might have gone brain dead. But what's your first ever platinum? And do you remember it?
My first ever platinum, funnily enough, somebody asked me about this recently, and it was actually the Sly Cooper trilogy on PS3. Oh. I loved the Sly Cooper games, and it was one of the first things I actually got on the PSN store back in PS3 days. I bought the trilogy. So yeah, Sly Cooper 1. I don't even know how long ago this was to find it, because obviously I've played loads of games and I haven't even platinum. So, and God knows how long ago it was I bought my PS3. Oh, there we go.
I don't know about my first full gamer score on Xbox, but I know my first platinum trophy was Wolfenstein: The New Order.
Nice.
And then followed up with Bloodborne.
Oh, there you go.
Two of my most proudest ones. I'm proud I've got the platinum in Doom as well, like the 2016 one.
So yeah, it was in January 2014. That was my first platinum trophy, and it was Sly 1. So there we go. They were fun games, the Sly Cooper games. I really enjoyed those because that was like the raccoon. And what was really nice, have you guys played Ghost of Tsushima?
No, but I've seen gameplay of that.
Yeah, I played it for a bit.
It's actually by the same studio, I believe. So there was actually a trophy for Ghost of Tsushima that was a nod to Sly Cooper. And you had to, so where you could get all the headbands and different outfit items for Jin and different dyes, you had to get certain items and dress Jin in those certain items and dye things certain colours so you looked like Sly Cooper. And that was actually a trophy in the Ghost games, which was quite fun. Something you wouldn't know to do unless you looked it up. But yeah, I thought that was a nice little nod to it. So, but yeah, God, that was so much that. That's nearly 10 years ago, my first platinum. It's crazy.
What about, did you get any of the, were there any games like the Xbox where you got all the 1000 gamer score for back in the day?
I never had Xbox. We grew up on PlayStation. So, and to be honest with you, I think because it was actually my uncle who bought us the PS1 when I was about 6 or 7. And I don't think if he hadn't bought us that, I probably wouldn't have got into gaming. So, well, certainly at a young age. The very first game my parents bought me was Rugrats Search for Reptar.
Oh, yeah.
One.
It's such a good game that they bought it for me so it was easy and I could feel included. Right.
The last time I played that game was just before I turned 13. I remember I was playing it, and I remember my brother walked in. He went, "You're about to become a teenager, and you're playing this game." I was like, "Yeah, so."
It was a fantastic game. I actually wish that they would bring it back on the classics.
They need to bring it back, absolutely. Because I need to do that scary level with the mummies and the pyramid golf, and walk around with Reptar and get shit dead when Cynthia starts duplicating in the basement.
I never did the one where you have to find Cynthia with.
In the sewer.
The sewer one. What's the Spike? Is that a dog?
Spike the dog, yeah. You had to go through that.
That's the one I can never do.
Do you know what level really scared me as a kid on that game?
I said I mentioned something about this ages ago on the podcast, but go on.
It was the level at night where you have to get to the fridge and open the fridge door.
I mentioned just
and you have the little ghosts.
I mentioned just going into the pyramid and then you find the mummy, which is scary.
Oh yeah, that was good. And actually, the basement level where you had the toys suddenly went kind of evil, and you had to file through them. That was when you were a toddler. That's like, oh my god.
All the monkey, and then I remember in the cartoon you get sent.
Oh
You get sent through time. Suddenly, time travel exists in Rugrats.
That night, and you had the backyard circus level. That was great fun. Oh yeah, PlayStation, please put it on classics.
I can just see that. Go on, Brandon.
I was gonna say, I think if they bring back a ton of these classics, I will 1,000,000% try to platinum if they brought trophies with them.
Yeah, Ape Escape they did. So, and they were. I loved Ape Escape. I did that platinum on PS4 and PS5.
I'm eyeing up Digimon World 1, Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories, Rugrats.
All right,
All of
weeb.
those, bring them to me. Shut up.
You're like, and then I'm surprised you don't go, well, I'm not the one with an anime tattoo. I'm like, well, touche, there you go.
Well, I've got my name in Japanese on me, so I have full-on Nihongo on me.
All right, chicken fried rice.
Number 42, Special Chow Mein.
Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, you still haven't answered my question. I've asked twice.
What's
Did
that?
answer it.
Not
I
you,
said-
Adrian. You've answered.
Oh.
Brandon, what trophies
Oh.
are you most proud of, and which ones are you not proud of?
I
Answer
didn't
the
realise.
damn
Oh, I
question.
thought
I thought it was
sorry,
just-
because I'm listening to on my phone, and every now and then I get like a minor cutout. I couldn't quite actually tell if you're still trying to get the answer out of Adrian or me.
I thought it was directed just to Adrian, not all of
I
us.
thought it was as well.
Everyone.
Sorry.
For me, well, if my dog didn't chew through the Ethernet, I'd be able to tell you that. But I think off the top of my head, what platinum am I most proud of? I'm very proud of the Dark Chronicle one, but at the same time, I think some of the most rewarding platinas I've had are the Subnautical ones.
I think for me, the problem is, I would say the game that I've got like all the trophies for, but I don't have a platinum, is like one of the ones that I think I'm like most shameful, which is one of the Kingdom Hearts games, where it's just a fucking cutscene. That's it. But then you don't get a platinum for watching it all. So if we're actually going for a platinum, it would probably be one of the Telltale games, maybe, just because it's an easy platinum. That's what I'm probably most shameful for. But because I bought a whole load of them just because the platinum was easy.
I know exactly which one you're on about because it's like part of the Kingdom Hearts collection, and I clicked on it as well. And I was thinking, this is taking an awfully long time. When do we get to play the fucking game? And I looked it up because it was still going after like half an hour. I was like, no, it's literally like a 90-minute film. You don't do anything. It's just cutscenes. It's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck was that?
Favorite platinum? I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I would say like the problem is if we're going by platinum, I'd probably say Nier Automata maybe just because I really like that game. But I would say a game that I've like
And you bought it.
technically yes, but I have actually done it anyway.
Pay to win trophies.
It was literally pay to win.
Is this an EA game by any chance?
No.
Yeah, don't listen here.
Fucking Square Enix, ain't it?
Don't get any ideas.
Okay, we'll see. It's fine.
I think I would say there's more Xbox games where I've got all the gamer score that I'm more proud of over games I've got platinums. Like I want to do it again, but I've got all the gamer score for Borderlands 2, and I was really happy for doing that. The original Resident Evil 4 game, I think that is the game I'm most proud of getting all the gamer score for, is the original Resident Evil 4. I remember doing it on the hardest difficulty. Took me ages. I remember beating it was such an achievement for me. So I would say that's like, if I obviously I have it on my Xbox, but if I played it on PS3 or PS4 and got that platinum, that would probably be my most proud platinum. But sadly, that's my most proud achievement on my Xbox, getting full game score for Resi 4 original.
Yeah, oddly enough, for both like the Xbox version of Resi 4 and the PS5 remake, the last trophies I've got in both versions are for like doing the shooting gallery, like getting all the bottle caps, and then again in the remake, they're the very last ones I unlocked. Like clearly, that's my least favorite part of the game.
Yeah, they're a bit harder in remake as well.
Yeah, I don't think they're too bad. I think it pops up relatively easy. It's just like getting around it mentally is like, oh, it's going to take ages and I'm going to suck at it, but it wasn't that bad. Like once you memorize it, in fact, some of them I did first try, surprisingly.
Gotta memorize.
I just thought it was going to be a lot harder than it actually was. Yeah.
What about what are yours, Chris? Your favourite and your least favourite? What are you most proud of?
I'm quite proud. I've got like both like Doom and Bloodborne and Elden Ring as well. So I've got a few that I'm generally happy with, like Resi 4. But yeah, Paw Patrol is by far the least favourite one.
I'm sure that's the one you're most proud of, actually.
Although I like rubbing this one. It may have changed it now. But Adrienne remember said her friend Andy earlier. I was like, oh yeah, Andy, he's the one that struggled with the Wolfenstein trophy. He's like, I've got it.
He couldn't. He had the game just wouldn't pop a certain trophy on Wolfenstein 2, so gave up. I do actually mock him though, because he admitted that it was actually his missus who did the platinum trophy on Final Fantasy X for him.
Oh.
And I was like, well, it wasn't really you then, was it? So I think his missus has done some. He when he challenged me to do Crash 1 for Platinum 100, he said, if you do it, I'll do it. I was like, okay then. So I did it. And he kept kind of making comments when I was doing 2 and 3. I was like, right, it's time for you to put your money where your mouth is. All right, you keep making comments about gameplay, do it, you haven't. So you can't do Wolfenstein 2, do Crash 1 instead for your Platinum 200. He gave up after 3 levels.
Oh, God.
He's like, I can't do it. I don't know how you did it, but I just can't do it. And he deleted it after about 15 minutes. And then I think his missus started playing it. So yeah, I do rib Andy for that one quite a bit.
All right. Well, one last one then. One last question, because it's burning in the back of my brain. Like, is there one game that sticks out like a sore thumb in your mind because you got so close to finishing it, but there's just like one thing you didn't get, like one achievement? Because the one that springs in my brain is the original version of Dead Space 2. I've got every single thing in that apart from beating it on Zealot mode, and it drives me nuts. I still haven't done it. I'm never gonna do it.
Jack and Daxter 2. I didn't even have to think. Jack 2. I have 1 trophy left on that. I'll go back and play it.
Is it just a bullshit one? Is it?
It was. So you had to get all of the orbs. There's 256 in the game, I think it is. And you get certain ones just throughout the levels. And I think in the last level, you can miss them if you go and do that and don't pick them up, because you then can't get back into the area. So I already had that faux pas in my first playthrough. So I did another playthrough, made sure I got them all. And then there's challenges around the map that you have to do to get the rest. And they're doable. They're not easy, but they're doable. And I was going through, and I logged on one day and I was like, I swear I had more orbs than this. But I've done all the achievements I did around the map, they're done. And I got to just over 200 and I was up and I was like, it doesn't add up to 256, I swear. The next time I logged back onto the game, my orb count was down to 190 something, and I was like, hit 201. And I looked and I added it up, and I only had enough to hit 230 something. And I looked it up, and there was a known glitch between the orbs and the autosave feature on the game. So the ones in the level were fine, picked up in the levels, not a problem. It was all the ones from the challenges. But the challenges were then marked as complete. So I couldn't even go back and get them. And I'd already replayed through the game once to kind of get the ones I missed. And I was like, and then it bugged out, and I was just like, I can't do this again. So the game is still sat there on my hard drive, waiting for me to go back one day and replay it, just so I can finish getting 256 orbs. And it's just, one day, but not right now.
Well, same question to Dan and Brandon.
I think, well, I kind of mentioned it before. I kind of want to get both Ni No Kuni games. I want to get the platinums on them, and I would like to try and get the platinum for Dark Souls 1, because it's my favourite From Software game. So it'd be nice to get that platinum.
I think the one that's bugging me the absolute most is the Yu-Gi-Oh one. Just because that you have to play it online, and I'm just so stubborn to do it that I'm just refusing to do so. But one of the most annoying platinums I've mentioned it recently is because I started playing Forager, and it came on the PS Plus with the DLC edition, the Nuclear edition. But because it's got the DLC on it, it's bugged you out of one of the trophies, so you can't get it, which means you can't get the platinum. Because even though you get all of the trophies in the base game, for some reason it's considering the DLC ones. The DLC is actually preventing you from getting the base game one.
Oh.
So say, for example, in the base game, you've got 7 tiers of power-ups, but with the DLC, it makes it 10 tiers. So you for when you get the DLC, you now have to get to the tier 10 to be able to get the platinum. But because you do that, it's not triggering what you get for the trophy when you pass tier 7. So I'm just completely bugged out of it. So I can't get the platinum for Forager. I've got every trophy except that, and they're just not fixing it.
See, that bugs me as well when it's a known issue and devs don't fix it.
It's been an issue for years because I even went online to try and figure it out. There's posts from like 2 years ago saying, oh yeah, it's just not working.
Callisto Protocol, I remember the day that came out, people were cheesing doing it on maximum security difficulty. They were just playing it on easy all the way, slipping to maximum after the final boss and finishing it and getting the trophy. And devs found out and instantly just stopped anybody from earning the. I hadn't heard about that. So I honestly did a run all the way through on maximum security, and you didn't even have New Game Plus when it first came out. They introduced that in a couple of months afterwards. And I got to the end, I was like, why is it not popped? And then I looked it up and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. So then they did the major patch, fixed it all, brought out New Game Plus. But I was like, right, well, I've got my maximum security save, so I reloaded it, just run to the end, and it should, no. But I had to do it on maximum security all over again. So, yeah, that was not fun. But at least they fixed that one. Ones like that they've known are a problem for years, and they just sit on it and don't do anything about it. When they know achievement hunting is quite a big thing in the gaming community nowadays.
Yeah, that's another mark against like buying a game like as soon as it comes out and like playing full whack for something. Like sometimes it's just better to
wait,
give it a week, give it a month, like wait till it's they've released it, but let's give it a month until it's like they've actually finished it.
Yeah, Dying Light 2 was so bugged when that came out. So bugged. You can the trophy for doing all the windmills didn't pop. Some people had it pop if they joined somebody else's game or if they started another one. A lot of people didn't, and there was just so much wrong with it. It took them ages to fix it. And when they finally brought out a fix, I think the file was about 30 gigabytes.
Bloody hell.
That's how bad it was. And I stupidly did that twice because there was no auto pop. So I did it on 4 and then 5, and it took 150 hours on each.
Fucking hell.
300 hours of my life on Dying Light 2.
You're not going to get back.
No, and I got a shiny trophy for it.
Okay, it's worth it. So what would you say is the longest platinum? The one that has literally taken you so long, and then the moment you get it, you're like, not worth it.
Probably Dying Light 2, funnily enough. I say that walking trophy of 950 kilometers, that was just awful. When the map areas are so small in a game, just to do that. And so I put 80 hours into it. So to leave it for 70 hours rubber banded just for it to pop was disgusting. And I was so fed up by the end of it. I was like, no, yeah.
I look forward to a reaction for Dark Chronicle then. I look forward to
that. With all those photos.
Get those photos. You will need a wiki to figure some of those out.
Yeah. I think was it no, not Madison. What was the other one? Martha is Dead. Martha is Dead as well was a bit. That was another one you had to take photos. But instead of just taking the photos, you then had to go to a dark room and develop the photos yourself in the game. And it was a really long-winded development process. And to do one of them, you had to go and take a photo and see a ghostly figure in the background, go and develop it, find the next clue to where the next location was, go and photo there, come back. And it was just this back and forth of taking photos and developing them in a dark room. I'm fucking sick of this. It's horrible. Took me off games with cameras for a little while.
So you just went to all the golf stages, all the fishing stages, and those old Japanese games. Then you'll realise the true meaning of pain.
I avoid fishing games. I played, I think, one fishing game in my life.
Don't you worry. There's more fishing in a lot of the ones I've just mentioned, and golf. So many bullshit trophies, really are.
I think one of the weirdest ones I ever did was Assassin's Creed Origin. And one of the trophies you had to lead a lion to because you could tame lions in the game. So I had to tame a lion and I walked it for God knows how many bloody miles across the map just to eventually find a crocodile. Shit like that. You're like, why are you making me do it? I'll do it, but I'm not happy about it.
Oh dear. Yeah, have you got any final words, anyone?
There we are.
No. I guess I've got nothing else. You know how it is. Follow us on social media.
Follow Adrienne.
I'll get there in a sec. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or X, whatever you want to fucking call it.
It's Twitter. It always has been and it always will be.
I agree. Listen to us on all the podcast streaming, whatever. You know where we are, and you'll hear us soon. Adrienne, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolute blast.
Thank you. It's really good to be on here. I really appreciate it.
It's actually nice to have a conversation instead of just me typing words in your stream.
That's the weird thing with like stream chat. You don't actually get to talk to people physically.
I didn't realise until a couple of streams back that you made me a community VIP, and I was like, oh. I've never felt more proud.
No, yeah, I always like to give VIP badges to people who deserve them. I deserve them.
I think I just went on. I was like, wait, I've got a different thing. I've never seen that before, and I was like, oh, this has never happened to me before. Oh,
a little pink diamond.
Yeah. Yes, I'm sure. Well, your links will be in the description, of the episode, but where can people find you?
So I'm mainly on Twitch and Instagram. I do have other socials, but I'm terrible at updating those. So mainly just Instagram, and I Twitch. The other thing it's a bit probably shameful to do this.
It's fine. I know what
now. I'm now on a little show called Low Res on YouTube. So that is the other place you can find me.
Yeah.
Embarrassing myself on a comedy panel show.
No, it's all good fun. But, it's like I said, it's been great having you.
Thank you so much, guys. It's been great fun.
Pleasure.
Your absolute pleasure.
Chris, say something funny.
Something funny.
Woozle wazzle.
Hilarious.
Woozle wazzle. I didn't do it.
Sometimes I'm like...
That's mine and Adrian's mandatory Simpsons references done for the day.
Yep.
Well, there you go. Thank you for everyone for listening, and you'll hear us soon. Take it away, Chris.
Well, we're taking it.
Bye.
To the Paradise City.
Well, the girls are pretty.
The grass is green and go, okay.
Oh, Adrienne must be there. There you go. Bye.
How about you?